Hi, folks. It's Dr. Don, and it's about 11 p.m. Wednesday night, and I had something in my mind that I wanted to share with you. Each term, I have a few students that run into a time limit problem when they're using Posit Cloud, and it's called compute hours. Here is my lab 2, and if you go over here, you'll see there's a little place with a logo here with your initials and then your name. If you click on that, it will give you some information about your account. You can see this one, I'm on the cloud free plan, which I think almost all of you guys are. And it shows the usage period. I just set this particular account up today. That's why it shows January 14th to February 14th. Roughly 30 days or a month you get for each usage period. And you can see it says I've got 2 projects of 25. Again, I just set this account up. And it shows I've used 0.5 compute hours of 25 compute hours. What is that? I'm going to click back on my names to close this. If you look here, you can see there's a little arc that's called RAM. Of course, it's random access memory. And with the free accounts, we get up to 1 gigabyte of RAM. Compute hours, and I had to do a little research there with AI to help. And it just talks about it's the amount of time that you're running the computer, and it's calculated by the amount of the RAM and the CPUs. With these free plans, we just have 1 CPU and we're limited to 1 gigabyte of RAM. But it calculates how long you're running, keeping the lab going, and you're working on things, along with how much RAM is being used. And one of the things I might mention to you that as long as you're in the lab, like I am here, and I'm doing something, then that counts as compute hours. If you take a coffee break and you're gone for 20 minutes, 15 minutes of that coffee break, even though you're doing nothing, counts as compute time. Whenever you stop computing something, the next 15 minutes still count. So if you ever take a coffee break, I would suggest that you sign out of your account and then sign back in, making sure you save before you do that. Okay. I'll click on my name again to open the information in the account, and then click on the account button. And you can see here's the summary of what we're using now. We're on Cloud Free, and it tells us the shared spaces, projects, compute hours, max RAM, 1 gigabyte, 1 CPU, so forth. Down at the bottom, there's a button that says Upgrade. And then it'll show you this screen, which shows you the 5 types of plans that are available. The free is what most of us are on right now. And an option is to go over here to qualifying educators and students, and there's a cloud student plan, and it includes 75 hours instead of 25. So that usually works for almost everybody. Click on Learn More, and it again gives you more information about it, and it says, are you eligible? What you need to do is just to put in Excelsior University, and it says the email address you use with the university. Now, it does not have to be a .edu email address. I contacted the Posit folks, and they confirmed that. Just type in the email address that you use to set up your account, and then it will jump down here. It'll ask you for credit card information, okay? And you need to go ahead and, of course, fill that out. And then it will start charging you $5 a month from that point on. One of the things that I would call to your attention is that you can change back, say at the end of the original 30 days, your original plan was refreshed. Scroll down here, you can see this change plan, and you can click on that. It'll give you the option to change to one of the other plans or back to your original free plan. So you can do that if you want. But remember, our course is only 2 months long, so $5 a month times 2 months would be $10. Definitely put a flag in your calendar to change back to the free plan or cancel your plan totally at the end of the course. But this might be an option for folks who do not or cannot install RStudio Desktop on their local computer. So just wanted you to be aware of that. Monitor those hours. And if you're getting close, what you need to do, space, if you're working, say on Lab 2 or Lab 3, and you get the notice, they'll usually give you a heads up about 5 hours or 2 hours before you run out of time. You'll need to export your workspace. So to get it down to RStudio Desktop, if that's the route you're going. If you're going to go to the Plus student plan, then you don't have to do this. But just you can click on the little drop-down arrow, and it will create an export, a zip folder with all the contents of your lab. And then you can download that, and then you can open it. And we've got other videos to show you how you would do that with the RStudio Desktop. But that's how you export. You need to do that before you run out of time and they lock you out. So make sure you do that. So I hope this helps. If you've got any questions, give me a holler.